Wednesday, and welcome back. I hope you guys had a great 3-day weekend. I know things got a little crazy Monday evening in Umatilla, but I'm glad that everyone is safe and okay. My thoughts are with you guys. I live in Pendleton, so I haven't seen the craziness, but man, fires are terrifying. So I'm glad that everyone is safe, and the worst thing that happened was a little power outage and internet outage. So sucks for everyone trying to game, but power and internet will be restored shortly and you can get back to your gaming. Just because of what has happened with the internet, we will be extending deadlines for this week's assignments so that no one is penalized for internet going out because it's not their fault. So we won't have homework deadlines for those that don't have their internet. So don't stress about that. Tell your friends not to worry about homework. We will get to it later. Just they need to worry about themselves right now and being safe. So spread the word that there's extensions for homework and it'll all be okay. School can come later for them. You guys might be wondering, Miss W, where the heck are you? You're not in your classroom. I am sitting in my living room in Pendleton, Oregon right now. I was having a great Labor Day weekend at the river on Saturday, and then I stepped on a rock and fell and cut my foot open so bad I had to get 8 stitches. So I am currently on crutches and not supposed to put any weight on my stitches for the next week. So I am going to just be hanging out at home. I got my setup here, the laptop. I have my other monitor up here. I brought a whiteboard. I brought all my paperwork home. My mom went to the school and got it for me, so that was nice of her. And then she even rented me one of those awesome scooters that are like the knee scooters, so I'm going to be having that soon. So that'll be very good because my armpits are already so sore from using crutches. It's no joke. So I am at home for the next week. Hope to be back at school next week, but just 2020 craziness. Here we are. So today we're going to be doing MAPS review for MAPS testing that is next week. We will MAPS test for math on Tuesday. You'll be in your advisory class. And then on Wednesday is writing or reading, and then Thursday is the other one. So we're going to just get our MAPS testing done all in one day on Tuesday so that it's over with and we don't have to stress about it anymore. So today we're going to review fractions and integers. Not tomorrow. I won't see you guys again until Friday. On Friday, we will review order of operations because it's kind of quick and we only have 15 minutes. And then you guys will have 2 assignments this week, but they're super easy, like 4 problems total per assignment. So 8 problems total. So nothing crazy, just some review stuff to jump back into school because I know some of you guys might not have been doing math since March. Might have taken a long summer, and I don't blame you. So here we go with fractions and integers. Have a pencil and paper or a pen and paper notepad next to you. We're going to work out some problems, and then I'm going to ask that you type your answer in the chat, just the letter. So this first one is adding fractions. 2/8 plus 5/8 gives me A, B, C, or D. Type your letter answer in the chat. Thank you, Dugan.
Okay, stop.
Okay. I'll use orange. I haven't used orange yet. Okay. Oh, that's blue. I have my caps mixed up. Okay, so we have 2/8 plus 5/8 when we're adding fractions. And subtracting fractions, they have to have the same denominator. What is the denominator? The number on the bottom. So since these both have 8, we keep the denominator the same and add across the top. So 2 plus 5 gives me 7/8 as my final answer. So the correct answer is A, 7/8. So it's just adding. You just want to make sure they have the same denominator. All right, next up, adding 7/4 and 3 3/4. So you want to take the mixed number and convert it to an improper fraction, meaning that it's, oh, don't feel stupid. It's okay. You guys are just coming back into math, and that's why we're doing a review. So you're going to take your mixed number and make it a improper fraction, and the easiest way to do that is take the denominator, multiply it by your number, and then add that answer to the numerator. So 4 times 3 gives me 12, 3, and then 12 plus 3 gives me 15. So it now becomes 15. I keep the same denominator over 4, and then I'm going to add 7/4 to that. So 15/4 plus 7/4 gives me what as an answer?
Can't stop it.
Okay, so 15 plus 7 is 22. Keep the same numerator, so I'm left with 22 over 4. But can I simplify that into a smaller or into a different fraction, like a mixed number? Yes, you can. So I'm going to do 4, divide it into 22. 4 goes into 22 5 times. I'm just doing simple division. And then 4 times 5 gives me 20. So I'm going to subtract that from 22. And I'm left with 2 as my remainder. So I have 5 as my new whole number, and then I keep the same denominator. So 2 is my remainder, keep 4 as my denominator, 5 and 2/4, but I can simplify that even further because 2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So dividing the top and bottom by 2 gives me 5 1/2 as my final answer. So for the second one, the correct answer is C, 5 1/2. Anybody need me to go over that again, or you guys following along pretty good? Okay, our next one is a negative and a positive, but they don't have the same denominator. So we're going to give 2 and 3 the same denominator and then add them together. So a common denominator for 2 and 3 is 6. So go ahead and complete that one and type the letter answer in the chat. If you're just now joining us, good morning, welcome, Freddie,
Oh yeah.
Jose. Okay, so I'm going to give them both the same denominator of 6. Okay, so 2 goes into 6 3 times. I like to do the z. And then so 1 times 3 gives me 3. And then 3 goes into 6 2 times. 1 times 2 gives me 2. So my new fractions are 3 6 and 2 6. So I'm going to add those together, but it's a negative 3 6. Can't forget my negative. So negative 3 plus 2 gives me a negative 1. And then with subtraction, I keep the same denominator, and I'm left with 6. So my answer is negative 1/6, or C. All right, for my next one, we're going to multiply fractions. So multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and simplify if needed. So go ahead and do that one, and then type your letter answer in the chat. I'll give you guys a minute or two to complete it. You having some computer problems, Jose?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were able to get it fixed, and if you bop out again, that's okay.
Okay.
We're just doing review for maps testing, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so 2/3 times 7/4. I like to rewrite it as one fraction bar just to make it easier for myself. So I go 2 times 7 over 3 times 4. So 2 times 7 gives me 14, and 3 times 4 gives me 12. So I have 14/12. But that can be simplified because the number on top is bigger than the number on bottom. So 12 goes into 14 one time. 12 times 1 gives me 12. And then I'm going to subtract 14 from 12 from 14. I get 2. So 1 is my whole number. 2 over 12 is what I'm left with. But 2 over 12 can be simplified into, by dividing both the top and the bottom by 2, I get 1 and 1/6, because 2 divided by 2 is 1 and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So yes, Freddie was correct. The correct answer is C. Does anyone need me to do that again, or are we okay?
Oh, can I write it down?
Yeah, I'll hold it up for you.
Six. I got it.
Okay. Thanks for stopping me, Jose. Okay, next up, we're going to divide fractions. So you're going to convert any mixed number to an improper fraction is step 1. Step 2, keep the first fraction the same. Step 3, change the division sign to a multiplication sign. And 4, flip the second fraction over to write the reciprocal. Then multiply as normal. So I like to remember it as keep, change, flip. So we're going to go to this slide. First, I'm going to make this an improper fraction. and then I'll keep that number the same. Flip the division sign to a multiplication sign. And then I'm going to flip this to its reciprocal. So remember that any whole number is written over 1. So 2 is written over 1. We just don't always write that because it's easier to just write the single number. But like 100 is always written over 1, or 3,000 is always written over 1. We just don't always write it. So the reciprocal of 2 over 1 flipped would be 1 over 2. So go ahead and solve that if you can. If not, I'm going to start working it out. So to make 1 and 6/7 into an improper fraction, I take 7 and multiply it by my whole number, 1. So 7 times 1 gives me 7. And then I'm going to add, that looks like multiplication sign, sorry. I'm going to add that number, 7, to 6. So 7 plus 6 gives me 13. And my new fraction, I keep the denominator, becomes 13 divided by 7. So I'm going to keep that fraction the same. Keep, flip, change. Or keep, change, flip. So I'm going to keep 13/7 the same. Flip my division to a multiplication, or change my multiplication to a division, and flip 2 over 1 to 1/2. So my new problem that I have to solve is 13 over 7 times 1 divided by 2. So it's just a simple multiplication problem. And I'm going to write them like this just so it's easier. 13 times 1 over 7 times 2. And 13 times 1 gives me 13. 7 times 2 gives me 14. And so my final answer is A, 13/14. So keep, change, flip is the division. Keep the first fraction the same, flip the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction into its reciprocal. Okay, next up we have integer rules, addition, same signs. So if it's a negative and a negative, or a positive and a positive, keep them. So if it's positive plus positive, it's going to stay positive, and it's negative plus a negative, it's going to stay negative. Different signs, keep the larger sign. So if it's 2 different signs, whatever number is larger, you're going to keep that sign. So if this was, I need to edit this one, but if it was 3 plus -7, then you're going to keep the negative sign because 7 is the larger number out of the 2. Subtraction rules, keep the first sign, change the second sign, change the third sign. Then you follow addition rules. So we have -3 minus a +4. So I'm going to keep the first sign the same, change the second sign, so my negative now becomes a positive, and then change the third sign as well. So my +4 now becomes a -4. So I have -3 plus a -4 gives me -7. And then I follow addition rules. So since I have 2 negative signs, it's going to stay negative. Multiplication and division rules, same signs. The answer is positive. So positive and a positive, or negative and a negative, the answer is positive. I know that seems a little wonky, but just a refresher. Different signs, answer is negative. So if you have a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive, the answer is negative. So -6 times 7, the answer is going to be negative. Positive times a positive, positive. Negative times a negative, positive. And then this I'm going to post in our Google Classroom. Okay, this one, just type your letter answer in the chat. -8 plus 6, is it A, B, C, or D? B is correct. -8 plus 6 gives me -2 because 8 is the bigger number, so I keep that sign. Question 2, 5 subtract -8. So I'm going to keep the first sign, change. So then it becomes 5 plus +8. So give me your answer in the chat. So I have 5 minus a -8. Keep, change. So I keep the 5, change the negative to a positive, and change this negative to a positive as well. So 5 plus 8 gives me 13. 13 is B. Okay, next question. This X is a multiplication sign, so -8 times a +9. What is the answer? Type the letter in the chat. D is the correct answer because it's a negative times a positive. My answer is negative, and 8 times 9 is 72. So D is the correct answer. Good job, Freddie and Jose. All right, last one for our practice problem is find the quotient, just the answer to the division problem. Sorry, my dog was trying to steal my Kleenex. -32 divided by 4, type your letter answer in the chat. A is correct. Good job, boys. So -32 divided by 4, my answer is going to be negative, so I can cross off D and B because I know it's going to be negative. A and C are the only ones left, but 32 divided by 4 is 8. So my correct answer is A. Good job, gentlemen. All right, that is all I have for these slides. I'm going to take you guys to the Google Classroom really quick and assign homework and show that. So second period, classwork, integers. So this is today's assignment. Let me assign it really quick. So we're going to be using a program called Go Formative to do some of our assignments this year. I really like it because it allows me to for you guys to show your work for me. So like on Friday for the orders of operations assignment, you can kind of show your steps so that I can see where your brain is and how you're doing it. So I can be like, oh, this is where you're getting the problem wrong. Let's fix it. So you're going to log into on goformative.com. And then you'll log in and it'll put you in period 2 because I've assigned it with my Google Classrooms. And then the first assignment you'll see is work keys integers. And then let me go student view. So this is what it'll look like to you. All the answers are show your work. So you're going to click on the problem and then it's going to give you this screen, which is a whiteboard. And you're able to come over here, pick the scribble, or you can type it with text, your answer. So you can do -11 like that, or you can scribble it and put -11 like that. Whatever works easier for you. I think the writing one's easier when you have to do more steps, but that's just my preference. And then You can do, if like you need to erase, there's the eraser or the undo button. So you can go in and change it. But then once you submit the assignment, you can't change it, but that's kind of normal. So that is what we're going to be using. So today's assignment is 4 problems on quick integers, just for you guys to do. It's worth 20 points, so it'll be due on Monday. Get that done whenever you can. And then once we get our grade book fixed, I will start putting assignments in the grade book. Right now it's not correct just because on PowerSchool, it doesn't have the percentages right for 70 and 30% for formative and summative. So once that's fixed, then I'll start putting grades in. I've already graded your flip grids, and so those I'll start putting in as soon as I'm ready. But everything's worth points, and the formatives are good, easy points. So you guys should do your assignments to get some good points and keep your grade up. Oh, I wasn't even sharing the correct tab, was I? Okay, so this is what it looks like. You can scribble and do -11, or you can click undo, or you can use the eraser, and then you can also do a text box and type in your answer, whichever you like better. And then the undo feature is nice because then you can go back, erase things, and then yeah, so 4 problems, and then submit that when you're done for easy points. So this is the teacher view, so yours will look a little different, but for second period, I've put you guys all in there with your school email, so then you'll just have to log in with your Google school email account. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to do